Hello, my name is Mitchell Schultz, and I'll be discussing Lake Michigan Credit Union in our Information Systems, or IS department, specifically regarding securities, our website and mobile application development, and our ATM network Visa DPS. Before I discuss our IS, or Information Systems department, I'll give a brief history of LMCU. It was founded in 1933 by Lloyd F. Hutt and originally called Grand Rapids Teachers Credit Union. In 2002, GRTCU officially changed its name to Lake Michigan Credit Union, or LMCU, after acquiring or merging with other smaller credit unions in the area. In 2015, LMCU expanded by adding branches in Florida, and assets reached a total of $3 billion. And finally, in 2018 to present day, LMCU acquired Encore Bank in Florida that added 6 new branches in Florida and brought our total assets to over $6 billion. Like banks and other credit unions, Lake Michigan Credit Union offers a wide variety of products and services. These include many different checking accounts, savings accounts, different loans or lines of credit, credit cards, mortgage services, insurance services, and also investment services. If you request any other additional information regarding any of these products or services, you can check them out at lmcu.org at our website. I have listed a few of our different products and services on this slide, but if you need more information, you can look those up in your free time. At LMCU, we hold our Information Systems Department, or IS department, at a very high standard. Our IS department monitors all online activity, store account and personal data, and is responsible for all technology such as our computers, servers, camera, Wi-Fi networks, printers, keyboards, etc. They also deal with security, website and mobile application development, and our ATM network, Visa DPS, which I will be talking about in more detail in the coming slides. I do have to say a disclosure before I start talking about our security. Some of our security information is classified and cannot be discussed or given out to non-employees in detail or even in any amount at all. So I apologize for any lack of information regarding some of our security policies or security enforcements, but I can't talk about everything in great detail or at all. With that being said, security is possibly the most important aspect for any financial institution, hence why some of it is classified. I can say that we do have top-notch security cameras at all corporate and branch locations, in every vault room and entryway to all of our buildings. We have contracts with EPS Security for our alarm systems that monitor our branches and corporate locations in off hours, and we use a dual control method when dealing with cash so that no one single employee is ever alone with the cash at any given point. There are always multiple employees to keep each other accountable and to keep the temptation of theft down. In regards to our website and mobile application development, our IS team develops, maintains, and monitors all LMCU websites and our mobile app, which includes online banking website, online banking app, and our employee intranet website. Our online banking website and mobile app allows members to conduct any banking needs from the comfort of their home or anywhere in the world, really, as long as they have a computer with internet access or a cellular device or tablet with internet access. The employee intranet is a site only accessible by employees and is used for further training, compliance, use of aids like our employee handbook or products and service details, and also has links to partnered companies for expense reports for gas, cell phone bills, or LMCU merchandise such as shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, hats, etc. Back in late 2017, LMCU changed our entire ATM network from an older and slightly outdated system to a newer one operated by Visa called Visa DPS. This network allows our ATM and IS departments to monitor ATM status and look for faults and errors. It allows us to monitor cash levels and also the productivity of each ATM and how much it's being used or not used. Now I'll move on to our SWOT analysis. This one's specifically about security. Again, I have to say our disclosure regarding our security is classified and cannot be discussed in a certain amount of detail or at any amount at all for certain things. With that being said, I can talk about a few of our strengths, such as our state-of-the-art technology, as I mentioned earlier, regarding our cameras and alarm systems, but also that our accounts are federally insured by the National Credit Union Association, or the NCUA. All member accounts are insured by theft up to $250,000. Our weaknesses, this is where I can't talk about a lot of our weaknesses, obviously. I don't want to exploit any of those to non-employees. However, I will just say again that lack of personal protection, specifically for ATM servicers such as myself, could be a little bit better. Mostly just for personal protection, such as like a bulletproof vest or non-lethal protection equipment like mace. Those could just be useful and could be offered by Lake Michigan Credit Union as a company to their employees. That brings us to opportunities such as security contracts for physical security guards at all of our locations, corporate and branches. We do have security guards at many of our locations, but I think it needs to be standard that we have at least one at all of our branch locations to decrease the risk of robbery at those locations. Like I said, offer personal protection for certain employees, but also offer self-defense courses at our corporate location for any employees that wish to attend those. That brings me to threats. Like any financial institution, threat of robbery is always existent at our branches and our ATM locations, as well as skimming devices. They aren't really a problem as much anymore with our new Visa DPS operating system that I'll get into later. But also we have active edge card readers that make it virtually impossible to be tampered with and to record data from our credit or debit cards. Now on to the SWOT analysis for our website and mobile app. Strengths include convenience for our members and ease of use for most of our members. Convenience is that they can do any sort of online banking that they normally could do in the branch locations. They can now do anywhere in the world via online banking website or our mobile app. Plus our online banking website and especially the mobile app are very easy to use for most of our members. I'll get into that a little bit more in detail when it comes to weaknesses and opportunities. First of all, a weakness is scheduled site maintenance. Could be lowered a little bit. A lot of times the sites are taken down for maintenance for an entire weekend, and I think those could be moved to just overnight 8-hour periods when they're not really being used. Keeping up with the formats of devices such as cell phones, mostly for our mobile app, with screen sizes getting bigger and changing every year with new devices. That means that our IS department has to keep up with the format of our mobile app to ensure that it looks the best on each new device and each size of screen. And intentionally excluding our elderly members. This is where the ease of use comes in. Our elderly members have a little bit harder time dealing with the change and newer updates of our website and mobile app, which brings me to opportunities. We could host classes or workshops for them. Similarly to how Apple hosts workshops in their retail stores, we could do the same thing at our corporate location to kind of help guide them and help them navigate our newly updated website or apps. And plus, I think our websites and apps could be used a little bit more to help promote products, services, and/or company news. That brings me to threats, which there's always a small threat of hacking. It is a very, very small threat and risk, but like any other company that deals with a website or mobile app, hacking is always a risk. Bigger risks are unforeseen website or app crashes. That also happens to anyone that has an app or a website. That's always a risk as well, but also competitor sites and apps. If a competing bank or credit union has an app or a website that's easier to use than ours, that could draw members, some of our members, away to their credit union or bank because they value an easier to use website or application than ours is. SWOT analysis for Visa DPS. Strengths include monitoring cache levels more accurately than our older system. We now receive real-time alerts regarding faults or errors that come up to our computers, well, our manager and supervisor's computers. We now have remote login abilities for our technicians so that they can fix errors and faults from the comfort of their desk at our corporate location. And we have additional details on transactions when an error occurs for dispensing funds to our members. Weaknesses include the new system is very picky about bill orientation when we load money into the ATMs. All of our bills have to be face forward, otherwise it either won't dispense the cash or it will jam in the machine, and then myself or one of the other servicers or technicians will have to go fix it. Also, even though the new transaction reports are very detailed, much more detailed than before, they're also very unorganized. There's a lot of information in a confined space on the page, and there's not a lot of spaces or breaks in different transactions that help organize the flow of the report. It's just a lot of random numbers and letters, words kind of jumbled together in a report, and you have to look very closely in order to distinguish separate transactions. So that leads us to opportunities. We could work a little closer to Visa DPS in order to organize the transaction reports. That could create a better relationship with LMCU and Visa for future business opportunities, but also just would be easier on our supervisor when she's looking for transaction errors. And also, I think faults and errors could be sent directly to ATM servicers' cell phones instead of being only sent to our manager or supervisor's computers. It just cuts out a middleman instead of having them tell us where to go. The error message could be sent directly to us, and we could route our routes ourselves and go and fix the ATM. A threat involving our Visa DPS system is basically just a mass system failure or a network crash. This could happen to any operating system. It's just a random anomaly that could occur. However, it is still a threat that is out there, and if that were to happen, our ATMs would be offline and unable to be used. I will also briefly go over again my system recommendations for each of the three topics that I discussed. For security, I think we could have tighter security for employees both at branch locations and ATM servicers. We could hire security guards at the branches and give the servicers non-lethal self-defense tools or protection, and host self-defense classes at corporate. I think that's an easy way to solve that problem. In regards to website and mobile app, we could educate our elderly members after updates. I think that's the biggest one that my company could take to heart here. They could host workshops once or twice a week to assist members on how to operate and navigate newly updated websites and mobile apps. And for Visa DPS, create more organized reports and update the software to dispense bills in any orientation. I think we should work closer to Visa DPS to clean up the reports so it saves time for our employees when looking for discrepancies and transaction errors. And also fix the issue regarding bill orientation so machines no longer jam or have any issues when bills are not faced correctly. Thank you for watching my presentation. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you may email me at mitch.schultz@cornerstone.edu. I would appreciate any and all feedback. So once again, thanks, and I hope you have a great day.